I read this morning from the 10th chapter of Mark. Jesus and the disciples came to Jericho, together with a large crowd. When they were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard it was Jesus of Nazareth, he shouted, "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." People told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus said, "Bring him." So they called him forward and said, "Cheer up. On your feet, he's calling you." And throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked him, "Rabbi, I want to see." "Go. Your faith has healed you." He received his sight and followed Jesus. A word from the Lord in the house of the Lord. I'm going to try it with my... Now, am I on? Oh, I better turn this off. You guys got too much to do to listen to me up here not doing anything. What do you want from Jesus? I want to see. Think about it. Is there anything else you want from Jesus besides I want to see what there is to see? Because if you can see, you can know. If you can see, you can tell. If you see, you're a conqueror of the world. You're the master of things. I talk about my dad every once in a while because he was big influence on my life for several years. When I was born, he was 35. When I was 35, he was twice my age. When I was 70, I was 2/3 his age. I was gaining. Another 150 years, I'd have caught him. He was legally blind for many years, and he had a lot of trouble hearing. And he said he would have given that last glimmer of sight, that last glimmer of being able to see, if he could hear. And yet we so value seeing things. This past week, I saw things I had never seen before in Washington, D.C. Oh, we saw the monuments and saw a laser show many years ago when it was still kind of a new thing. But we got to spend an hour at the Second World War Memorial. We even found where it said Kilroy was here. Most of you, everybody knows Kilroy, right? Okay. There are stars there that represent 110 lives lost in the Second World War. It's a whole wall with a reflecting pool. And just to stand and look at it was something else. And then to turn around. And there's the Washington Monument. Where I learned something because this lady who was dressed to the nines, or no, the men dressed to the nines, she was dressed very nicely and seemed really knowledgeable, who said, that is not a monument to George Washington. It's to Washington, the city, the representative of the nation that is of the free. I always thought it was George's. She pointed out things like, there are two colors because they had to stop for a while. If you can imagine it, they ran out of money. But they finished it. And you turn the other way, and down the way is Lincoln's Memorial. And a very impressive sight at the Second World War Museum was the class of 2025 from the United States Naval Academy. They were on what they called a memorial run, a 3-mile run through the 7 memorials and back to Annapolis. And almost every one of them, when they got close to you, close to some member of our group, would stop and say, "Thank you for your service." And all I could think was, thank you for theirs, because they're committing a life to maintaining what we have already. If I could just see everything, but I saw so much. The Vietnam Wall that is represented at the high school now. There's a moment when everybody parted and our people laid a wreath and taps was played. Oh, if you could only see everything. No, if you could only know everything. No, what is it that we want? Jesus said, "What do you want?" to Bartimaeus. What do you want? "I want to see." And he said, "Okay. If you believe, you see." But what he wants from us is that not just we see with these, but he wants us to see and hear. He wants us to see everything that he has for us. Everything that we might be able to do for each other. Everything that is possible. And we're so restricted. We're so narrow vision, that we miss so much in the world. I don't know whether we've talked much about. We light this candle because we light it at the time we bring the Word. And the Word is the light. We light the middle candle because it's the candle of peace. That light represents peace. That candle doesn't bring any peace. If you can't see peace through your heart, you can't see peace with anything. If you can't see with more than your eyes, you're going to miss almost everything in life. My prayer would be, Lord, let me see as you see. Let me see that which needs to be done. Let me see that which we need to know. Let me see that which I ought to do. And if my faith would only give me better vision of everything around me, of all the blessings that we have, the sound of music in our ears, the smiles. There was a lot of laughter with a very somber group last weekend. We were so well taken care of that we just jumped on and off the bus and had a great time, and they'd tell us 2 more minutes on the bus and we'd make it in a minute and a half because we're afraid of them. One guy didn't get on. He was a colonel. He didn't have to listen to anybody else. I wasn't a colonel. I listened. No, isn't that it? Bartimaeus said, "I just want to see because I've never seen in my life." What was his first vision? What was the first thing? What was the first image that struck his eyes and went to his heart and to his brain? Was it Jesus? It says he could see and he followed him. How can we see more than we see? Our reading today talked about Jesus being our priest forever. That there's no other priest that we need because he's the priest of the order of Melchizedek. And that doesn't mean much of anything. 30 years ago it meant absolutely nothing to me. But that's the highest order of priest in the nation of Israel, which means he's an exalted priest. But he's only exalted in our hearts. We don't put him on a pedestal. We don't put him on a throne. We don't mount him on a white horse and parade him. He's only high priest in our hearts. And if we can believe, if we can see, then we will always know where to look for him. We don't have to look over there. He's here. We don't have to look anywhere else. He's here. So yeah, I think I echo Bartimaeus. I just want to see. But I want to see with my heart. I want to see what it is that he has for me to do. I want to see what it is that are the blessings he's got for me. I just want to know him the way I hope he knows me. We do things. We travel through life. We meet new people and we find them blessings or not. But the big thing is, we meet new people. Are we blessings? Will they see Jesus through me? Will their eyes and of their heart be opened because of what we have done or what we will do or what we propose or express as our life? Bartimaeus, what do you want? I want to see. Oh Lord, I want to see. I want to see everything. I want to see with my heart that I might love with my heart. That I might love with my Jesus. That I might know. That I might know. Amen.